Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Seiko Matsumura. I am your host of Gibbs. The title of today's presentation is How to Get It All and Enjoy Every Moment of It. We have two special guests today, Aki Matsumura and Clint Howard of Tulsa Fitness. And before I introduce them, I actually have 3 rules that I want you to follow so you can get the most out of today's presentation. Number 1, I want you to be present. I want you to be here right now. I want all cell phones turned off. You made the commitment to be here, which is amazing, and I acknowledge you for that. And yeah, we just want you to be here and be present. Number 2, we want you to be open. You're going to hear some things that you may have heard of or some new things that are like, really? But we want you to go all in and try it on. And lastly, I kind of said it already, but go all in. You're here. You already took the time away from your family, work. So go all in. Listen to what these guys have to say, and because we really want to change your life. So, so if you do these rules, you'll be on the right path. Our first guest is Aki Matsumura. He is a PGA teaching professional out at Arroyo Chipico Golf Club in Mission Viejo. And he is a results coach to golfers, instructors, and coaches. And he's also a certified master coach. Without further ado, Aki Matsumura.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Seiko. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, thank you guys for having me here. First off, I want to acknowledge you guys all for being here. I know you guys are all busy and you guys are taking this hour out to join us and, you know, better your lives, better your business, better where you're at in your industry. And so I want to acknowledge you guys for being here, taking this time. And we're going to share with you, or I'm going to share with you some really special transformational keys here that you can implement right away to really, you know, get everything that you truly want. Right. And so, you know, if you're here, you know, some of you may feel with the big boom in the golf industry, like we're overworked, like we're spending like our whole life, either at the facility that we're at, we're spending our whole time either at the course facility, at the range, if we're teaching, wherever it is, or at work. And it feels like it never shuts down. Like, and it's so busy that you may even bring work home and you don't even have your home life, your personal life. And so when I say, how do you get it all? It's work, yes, and your business, extremely important. But when we look at, you know, like having that dream life that you want, having that balance that we call it. If you joined us the other week with Satema, he called it more harmony, because everything in our life kind of changes from time to time and we need to prioritize different things and getting that harmony in your life, right? What is really missing when we feel overworked and when you really want to get it all, it's just letting us know that the things that matter most in our life are not present in our life because we put this big priority on these are the things that I have to do right now. And so, you know, as we go through this presentation, or as I take you through this, right, I'm going to show you how do you just get everything that you want and systematically do that time after time again. Doesn't matter the industry, doesn't matter if it's super busy, if it's super slow, how do you create this stuff for yourself? And so my promise to you all is I will show you how do you get it all? How do you truly get everything that you desire in your life and then rapidly accelerate towards your dreams, towards your dream life? Excuse me. So there's gonna be 3 secrets for today, right? And the 3 secrets are gonna be, one is you have to discover your way of being, right? And two, create yourself to go ahead and go get it. Go ahead and get that life that you want. And three, it's doing what's required, right? And so how often do we do these three secrets, these three strategies? We do it every single day, right? So it's not this thing that like, I'm going to implement this one time, or I'm going to just try this thing on and put it on autopilot. These are like very, very intentional things that you're going to do every single day. Like if you want transformation, if you want rapid acceleration towards like the life that you want, to get that harmony that you want in your life, like it has to be truly intentional. You have to be thinking about it every day, and you have to be doing it every day, right? Yes, we're going to have these thoughts that come in that I'm tired, I don't want to do this, I'm busy, I can't do this, and we'll make sacrifices from time to time. But if you're constantly giving yourself that opportunity every single day, and don't put it in the back burner, right, then you start to move and you start to go really quickly. So as we get into secret number one, excuse me, right, who you are being is everything. And so before we start, I want to share with you a story. And as you see this, like you see this picture on here, I want to show you a story. Like everybody went through, 2020 when everything kind of shut down, and we had to transition. And so like for me being a golf instructor, golf coach, where we transitioned from doing stuff in person to doing things remote, and we're spending so much time at home. And we had a really good family life, and we spent a lot of time together, and nothing really changed. We still spent the same amount of time together, right? The only difference is we're home more often. So we're in the office, we're in the room, we're on calls, we're doing stuff outside. And so we have a 4-year-old daughter, just turned 4 at the time, 3, Charlotte. And we were still spending the same amount of time with her every single day, every single week, but yet she'd be drawing these pictures like you see here. And at first we're like kind of shocked, what is this? But then every single day, like the same pictures, when she'd do her painting, she would be drawing these pictures, and like we just didn't understand what was going on, what changed, because we didn't spend any less time with her, right? And it really hit us. It's like, who are we being? Because things did change from a time when we would say bye to her midday, morning, and come back, to a time that we're home all day and not really seeing, what was happening, that she sees us at home, and then almost feels like we don't want to, give her the attention that she deserves, even though she's with her, our babysitter or nanny. She's seeing it, and it puts her into this. And right, the reason why I say who are you being, right? It's your way of being. Who are you showing up as? And even though things changed, right, inside from myself, it's like I thought everything was the same, and not really knowing. So it's about changing your being, showing up for who you need to show up for, to really create transformation. And right, and it took a little bit of time, but we had to restructure. We restructured. We had family discussions, more conversations. We broke up our day in different ways to then um, show her what she needed. And within, a month or two, then the pictures went away. And so that's who you're being. Who do you have to show up as to get there? And there's 3 ways to start to define yourself on your way of being. Is first is you have to get clear on what it is that you want, right? So the thing that you want, like for us, if we use our daughter Charlotte, the thing that we want is we want it to be a happy family. I want her to be happy. I want her to be powerful. I want her to, it's amazing that she would do this and show it to us. But then we started having conversations, like instead of displaying it in pictures, like tell us, right? So like we have our little thing now, is like, I want to be like, I'm a 5-star father. I want to be a 5-star father. So I tell her, Charlotte, like if I'm not a 5-star father, like, can you tell me? And now she tells me, like, when I'm distracted, Daddy, you're not being a 5-star father. So who are we being? And we're creating others to be the way that, that we want them to be. So get clear on the specific thing that you want. If you want to make more money, right, get clear on how much money that is. If you want more time with your family, create what does that look like for you? The clearer, the better, right? We always hear like clarity is power, but yet how clear and how intentional are we? How intentional are you to write it out on paper? What does it look like? My dream lifestyle. What does it look like with my family? If I want to play more golf, what does that look like? How much more golf? If I want to play more tournaments, what does that look like? If I want to practice more, if I want to go fishing, if I want to travel, whatever that is, what is it that you want, and get clear on it. Number 2, Get clear on the things that matter most in your life, right? Similar to the first one, there's things that you want, but when it comes down to it, there's only going to be a few things that really matter most in your life. And for everybody, it's different. Like for myself, it's my business. Our business supports the lifestyle that we have. It's our family, right? It's the personal relationships within the family. It's the travel and having that flexibility to go. And like those are the things that matter most in my life. Being able to see my family back in Hawaii, see my family in LA, and have that. Like those are the things that matters for me. So like looking on yourself, like what matters most in your life. And finally, three, like be radically honest with yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Like if you really want to make more money, go ahead and say, I want to make more money. If you really want to work less hours, go ahead, work less hours. If you really want to spend more time with your kids, right, go ahead and just do it and be okay. And you'll find a way. So those are the three things. Get clear on what matters most in your life, get clear on the things that you really want, and just be honest about it. Be radically honest with yourself, be radically honest with the people around you, and just be 100% transparent, right? So when you look at your way of being, whether your way of being are many different things, right? It could be a golf instructor, golf coach, golf teacher. That's a way of being. You have to show up as that person. It could be golf champion, right? They're not the same person. Like if you want to be a golf champion, you have to show up as a golf champion. Whether it's a family man, family woman, like that's a different way of being. Whether it's leading an executive team, right? All of these are so different. Whether it's you want to be a world traveler, right? There's not one being that goes to everything. We have to start to be, who do I have to be when I need to be? It's your way of being fits you into the lifestyle that you want. And you have to be conscious of who you're showing up and when you're showing up, right? And so how often do you do this? You do it again every single day, because in our lives, we're not just at work. And even if we're at work, are we showing up as a supervisor, as a boss, executive team? Are we showing up as an employee? Are we showing up as a golf instructor, teacher? Are we showing up as a client, right? Who you're being will transition to wherever it is that's going on. So it has to be done every single day and very super intentional. So if we go to secret number two, excuse me, is your identity is created. Your identity is who you are. It's never happening by accident. So when you create your identity, it's on purpose. You're actually doing something towards creating it. And, if you're not who you are and you're not the person that you truly want to be right now, and there's something blocking, there's only two things that really block you from getting the things you want, showing up and being the person and creating this identity for yourself of who you want. And the two things that hold you back, first thing is it's a fear of failure, right? If we don't do things, it's because, or we push things out, it's because of fear of failure. Like nobody likes to fail, right? As much as we hear like fail forward and you have to fail to succeed, like nobody likes failure because we're investing so much of ourselves into something that we want. And if we don't get it at that moment, right, it's hard to take in. So it's understanding, like, is it a fear of failure? Second thing is a fear of rejection. We live in this society that, as much as, you want to deny it, we judge everybody, right? You might be walking down the street and somebody has some crazy hats or clothes, like, oh my gosh, what are they wearing, right? And it's not like we're doing it harmfully. It's just the society that we live in. Like we live in a very, very judgmental society. So as much as we might tell ourselves that I don't judge anybody, like we judge everybody. And because of this society, we also have this internal feeling of rejection. Like we're investing a lot in myself. Like I want this lifestyle. I want to make more money, or I want to like work this kind of hours. I want to go talk to my boss and see how can we transition so I can have a better family life, so I can show up at work better. But we don't have these powerful conversations either with our clients, our managers, our bosses, our owners, ourselves, our spouses, because of that fear of rejection. We don't want to hear no, because if it's a no, then it crashes down all of our hopes, all of our dreams. If it's a question mark, then in our mind, we still have this chance, but we never take the action. So identity is created. And if you're not creating it, those two things are holding you back: fear of rejection, a fear of failure, right? And so when we create our identity, right, you're creating yourself to be the person that you want to be. So here's an example of Jeff Bezos, right? Excuse me, a little bit too fast. So we'll back up 1 second. So before we get there, it's to get there, it is to give yourself the permission, right? When I say give yourself permission, all that means is you have to see yourself getting it first, right? There's two paths you can go. Is one path, right, that you give yourself permission to say, I'm going to be this person. I'm going to create this thing for myself. And there's another path where we have to wait for proof, right? Once I do this, then I'll be able to do that. Right, here's like we're all golfers here, so you'll understand this, right? Giving yourself permission first and creating that for yourself in advance is always the fastest way, right? That's the way for rapid acceleration, the way that works the slowest. And we see it in golf all the time. Like I want to break 80. And if I'm at 90 or 100, I want to break 80. That's my life goal. But the moment I can hit in the fairway and get myself from 100 to like 95, then I can maybe start thinking about crossing that path towards breaking, right? Getting into the 80s, right? So I'm going to work really, really hard to figure out how do I just like keep my drive in play or learn this tool just to get to like 95 or low 90s to then say, can I get into the 80s? And once I get there, okay, now I'm ready. What do I have to learn now to get into the 80s? Let me go take some lessons, go practice all of this stuff. The moment I crossed over and you invest all of yourself, all of your time, and now you're in the 80s, then we say, okay, perfect. Now what's next? We don't even know what's next. We're asking and waiting for proof to see what's next, right? And we create this because of our other two rules, right? Because of fear of failure, fear of rejection. And so what if you were to say, and you were to create yourself in a way like, I'm already the 70s shooter. All I got to do is learn the skills to get there. And every single day you truly believe that you're that 70s shooter, right? And you're just putting in the time, putting in the skills and watching yourself progress forward. Right, that's how you get more confident, you get more certain, as opposed to like playing off the edges, like, oh, today was a bad day, that's why, and I'm not ready yet. Right, we hear with our junior golfers all the time, I'm not ready to play in a golf tournament. What makes you really ready to play in a golf tournament? It's not your skills, it's how you think, it's how you view yourself. Right, nobody's really ready. Right, who's ready to be on tour? Nobody's really ready to be on tour skill wise, like they're just get on tour. Nobody's ready like skill wise to be a major champion. They just know they're going to get there. They put the time in and they go, right? So here's an example of what it looks like transformation is huge, and a lot of times you can see it physically, right? And so this is Jeff Bezos, right? Him in 89 and him 2017, they are not the same person, right? But I can guarantee you, and even from hearing like interviews of him, like he knew back when he was selling books in his garage what Amazon was going to look like. He didn't need proof from anybody else because he knew what was going to happen, right? Whether he knew how long it was going to take, who knows, but he knew what it was going to look like, right? And so he created himself to like even appear to be a totally different person. And now he's right one of the big leaders in this world right now. So right, what do you need first? Don't wait till you sell the first book to say like, can I sell another one? It's like, I'm going to create this empire. My first step is selling these books out of my garage and going after it, right? So give yourself that permission. And how often do you create yourself? You create yourself every single day, right? And so as we get into secret number 3, excuse me, secret number 3 is you're doing what's required. And what's required, as you all know, in the golf industry, to shoot lower scores or whatever it is, there are things that's required to get you to get to a certain spot. Whatever result you want, there's a requirement. It's not hard work. It's not effort. It's not grinding it out. There's like an actual requirement. All right. And so there's always doing what's required and there's everything else. If you're not doing what's required, then you're not moving any closer towards the things that you really want, the things that matter most in your life, the things that you want to create for yourself, the identity that you want to create for yourself. So yes, sometimes they're going to be easy, they're going to be smooth, but sometimes they're going to be hard, they're going to be difficult. You got to sacrifice some things, but there's always going to be a requirement. There's always going to be a payment that you have to make, an investment that you make in yourself, whether it's financial, whether it's time, whether it's putting something else on the side, right? You always, as one of our coaches and mentors always tell us, you always have to pay the piper, right? There's always a payment you have to make to get to where you want to get to. We're either going to pay it now or we're going to pay it later. And we're making that decision regardless of when we pay it. We are paying that piper to get the results that we really want in our lives. All right. And so if you're not doing what's required, just know that you're just doing everything else. And then you're just spending your time. All right. And then you're just spinning the wheels. You're in that hamster wheel of just like never stopping, never ending. All right. And so when we look at how to break 100, there's a requirement. You can get so many different tactics, talk to so many different golf professionals. Everybody in this call can give you specific requirements that you can tell a person shooting in the hundreds, like you have to do this to break 100. Right. And I can tell you it's not, and you guys all know it's not go practice forever. Right. It's what are the results that you need to show to break 100? The same as how do you break 80? Right. Once you're in that 80s, there's a specific requirement. You have to make so many pars, right? Those are requirements. You have to make birdies. You have to hit greens. You have to not lose balls, however you teach or however you can do it. You all on this call can share requirements on how to break 100, how to break 80. Right. And the same goes to like found this thing here, like make money as a kid, 69 ways, right? Making money. There's a requirement to make money. Right. And so there's either doing what's required and everything else, right? Here's 8 ways to create more time in your life. Again, these are requirements and things that you can do to create more time. Like it always comes down to, it's never the resource. It's always your ability to be resourceful, right? If we really think about it, like anything that we want, create more time, make more money, right? Be a better employee, be a better owner, executive, right? Be a better spouse, father, all of these things, we can type it in Google and it'll tell you, it'll tell you strategies on how we can become and how we can do that. But what happens is it comes down to, well, I can't do that now, or I don't have time for this. I can't afford this. And whatever that story is, it's never the resource, because if you really wanted that thing that you want, then it's your ability to do whatever it takes to get there, right? If it means that much to you, if you're a 10 out of 10 in getting there, then you're going to get there, right? Regardless of what the resource is. So it always comes down to our ability to become resourceful. Think about, like, if I have a lot of golf analogies because I coach and teach a lot of golf. So, and you guys have been in the golf industry, so you guys know. So imagine like your students and people that you give advice to, like you might tell them exactly what to do. And you'll get some students that do exactly what it is, they get the result. You'll tell other students, do it like this, and they tell you every other excuse, I didn't have time. And you're like, you don't have time. I just told you to do it for like 5 minutes at home, putt in the living room. Like you don't have time for that, right? And so again, it comes down to our ability to be resourceful. The one that really wants it will create the time. We'll figure out a way to get there, right? And so right now you might be asking, like, how, like, I understand this concept and I understand this principles, like, how do you actually do it? Like, how do you do it every single day? And so I'm going to share with you one of the most powerful tools that we use in our lives, we use with our students, our coaching, that helps us, that puts it into place as something that you guys can take home and you can do every single day, right? And so we call it a daily focus. And in our daily focus, think of daily focus as your morning routine, your daily routine. Maybe you're doing like a journal. You could replace it with a journal, but it's getting your thoughts down, right? Your daily focus consists of 6 things. The first thing is HVTs. HVTs are your high value targets. So once you are clear on the things that matter the most, the things that you really want, every single day you're writing down and you know super clear, what are the high value targets that I need to do today? What makes today a win? And when you really look at it, it's not 50 to-do list things. It's going to be one or two things that are super important that if I get this done today, then today is a success. So how do we know that we're moving closer? Like if we are super clear on our HVTs and that one or two things, and we get that done today, it doesn't matter anything else of what happens, right? We move forward and we got there, right? So HVTs, write them down so you're clear at the start of your day, because at the end of your day, right, you either got them or you didn't. If you got them, you move closer. If you didn't, you did not, right? It's very, very objective, where it's a yes or no, they're objectives, right? Second is your cut list. There's always things that comes up and interferes in our life. Whether, I grab my phone and I'm scrolling social media, right? And that keeps me on social media for an hour, 2 hours. Or, when I get stressed out, I go watch TV and I watch TV and I watch 2 hours of it. Or, whatever pulls you away, like what are the things that come up daily that cut into your productivity, and what do you have to cut out, right? What's that one thing that you have to cut out, right? Your cut list. 3, right, is your gratitude. So once we understand like our high value targets, once we understand like what to cut out, it's gratitude. We always start our day with gratitude, right? And as golfers, we know that how we think and the presence that we have, the identity that we have, it all affects our being. It all affects like our decision making, right? Like if you've ever been on a course and you're totally stressed out, you hit some bad shots, and then you leave the course after your round, it's like, man, I made these poor decisions, right? We're making these poor decisions because we're in a place that's stressed out, a place that is like pinning us down, and we can't think correctly. It's not that we lost focus. It's because we're not in a peak state. We're not in an area to think clearly, right? So whenever we start our day in gratitude, we're starting in the best peak performance. So write the things that you're grateful for. What are you grateful for today? What were you grateful for yesterday that you're moving on to today, to get yourself in a place of your highest performance? Because that's when you start to make your decisions, right? So you're starting your day every single day in a place of gratitude. 4 is your CSCs. We call our CSCs conscious self-creation. You might also say that they are affirmations, right? They start with I am, right? I'm a 5-star father. I'm a 5-star coach. I'm a 5-star husband, right? I am this, I am that. But how you have to treat this is far different than, just affirmations. Affirmations really don't work, right? If you just continue to tell yourself the same thing, but you don't really believe that they work, then they don't work. They're just words. So if I'm a 5-star father and I continue to say I'm a 5-star father, what that means is, what are the behaviors that a 5-star father does, right? And I have to know what they are, because if I'm here and this is a 5-star father, I have to align the behaviors all the way through. So it gets me to catch myself in real time. If I'm not being a 5-star father, I get to change the behavior. So the only way affirmations, and in this case CSCs, work is, as you catch them, you have to change the behavior. And as you align the behaviors of that person, then you move and accelerate, right? So that's your conscious self-creation. Next is your top 10. You have to know, what are the top 10 outcomes that you want in your life? And they're the outcomes that you're looking at from, the next couple of weeks, the next 3 months, the next year, all the way out to the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life. Like you have to see that picture from short term, what's going to happen now, all the way building out to like your legacy. And if you don't see that clearly every single day, it's not reminding you enough, like, why does it matter for you to do the things today, right? And so have your top 10. And finally, to close down your daily focus, is always ask yourself, am I committed to winning today? Right? And how we define commitment are 3 things. 3 things is going to be, you're just doing what's required. 2, you do what you say you're going to do. And 3, you act decisively and take massive action. Like if you are those 3, that is what commitment means. And so you ask yourself, am I committed to winning the day? And after seeing all of this stuff, if you are, you just verbally say, I am committed to winning today. And how often do you do this? You do this every single day. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for your time. And this is our 3 secrets to getting everything that you truly desire. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Aki. That was great. Our next guest is Clint Howard. Clint Howard is one of the most highly sought after coaches in the country. He has a master's degree in exercise physiology and is a 2-time Golf Digest Top 50 golf fitness professional in America. Clint trains hundreds of golfers, including college teams, long drive competitors, and PGA Tour players. He is an author, speaker, business owner, mindset coach, and also a committed husband, father, and a family man. Here is Clint Howard.
Thank you, Seiko. You guys hear me? All right. Good morning, everybody. I love this topic of work-life balance because that's one that I personally struggled with for a long time. It took me a long time to really figure this one out. And I think a lot of us struggle with this. And so, like right now, for example, I'm checking my lighting. I'm here in a hotel room. So I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I'm down right now in Norman, Oklahoma with my family. I went to college at OU in Norman, and one of my daughters is in a basketball camp here. And so we came down here yesterday. We're hanging out, kind of showing our kids where we went to college at. I'm here getting some work done while they're hanging out in Norman. And my business is thriving right now. I'm away from my business. I don't even really have to check in. It's making money. It's going great. And I'm here hanging out with my family and here getting to talk to you guys. And so that wouldn't have happened 5, 10, 15 years ago. I would be in my business 15 hours a day, not able to leave at all. And, so we came a long way. So there's some things that I have learned from my mentors and coaches, a lot of mistakes that I've made. And I want to share those with you guys. And so I can share a lot of the same things you can have to be successful, really have good balance in life, right? That's what we're talking about. And so the title, and I've got a lot of notes here I want to go through. I've got a short time, 20 or 30 minutes, so I want to cover a lot of things. How to create unlimited energy, get rid of stress, and really have a true balanced life in all areas, okay? So when we look at what we call the 4 pillars, okay, so we've got 4 pillars: physical, spiritual, relational, and financial. Okay, so a lot of us can figure out 1 or 2 of those, and that was me out of college, probably for about 15 years, because I understood the business side and how to work. I was raised to have a really strong work ethic, and that got me a long ways as far as just grinding and hustling and working nonstop. And when I was single, that worked out great, right? When I was fresh out of college, when I got married and when I started having kids, and I'm sure a lot of you in here are married, have kids, so you understand that's when it gets challenging, right? How do I figure out how I can still be successful, not work myself to death, and still also come home and be with my family, be a great husband, be a great father. And so a lot of the accolades I've gotten in business, those don't even hold a candle to how I feel now as a person, as a leader, as a husband, and as a father to my kids. So I want to go over that. And so it's really physical. So the 4 pillars I mentioned, we've got physical, that's exercise, that's working out. Okay, that's my background. It's fitness and training and nutrition. So I'm going to touch mostly on that today, but also how that ties into everything else. Okay, spiritual, that's our connection to God. Even if you're not Christian, whatever, we all have a purpose on this life, right? We have a higher calling. We're put here for a reason, okay? So we understand, hey, we're here. Let's make the most of our lives, okay? So we know that. So we gotta focus on that. And also our relational, again, that's our family, right? Our wife, our husband, our kids, our brothers and sisters, siblings, all of our family. Are you truly committed to your family, and are you showing them how much you care about them and being there for them and supporting them? And then also financial, right? We have to make a living, we have to make money. And so we also have to focus on that and make sure we're a good leader, we're providing good value, and we're profitable and having the, that part that we want as far as having the nicer things in life. But also, again, it's just delivering value to our customers, our clients, our business, whatever it is, and getting paid for that. So that's the 4 pillars. And so what I want to talk on first really, again, is the physical. Like, to me, your health is the most important thing. If you don't have your health, then really what else matters, right? And health means longevity, living longer. I want to live a good quality of life. So I own a large training business. I train a lot of golfers and a lot of athletes. I also train a lot of just regular adults. Okay, they want to feel better. They want to have more energy. They want to look better and have more confidence. They want to live a long, healthy life. Okay, so when I was a teenager in college, I'll admit vanity, aesthetics were a lot of my goals. Is why I started working out. I played college baseball. Then when I was finished playing baseball, I wanted to look good for the girls, right? A lot of us want to look good. Fast forward to today, sure, I want to look good. I want my wife to be attracted to me. I want to look healthy. But my main goals is why I work out every day is I want to live a long time. I want to see my kids get raised. I want to see my grandkids and be around, have a quality of life, and be healthy. Instead, I also set a good example, right? A good example for my kids and for of course my clients. So my goals have changed, and what I'm going to talk about really ties in a lot to what Aki was talking about as far as creating yourself and creating yourself powerfully, not being afraid of failure, and really just getting to your true why things are important to you. Okay, so the main thing here is if we're getting into the physical part, okay, we know that's important. I have to be healthy, and I need more energy. I want to feel better. So the first thing I want to touch on is sleep, because this is one that I really neglected from when I was probably 20 years old till I was probably really a few years ago, 35 years old, is I had got in my mind that I didn't need a lot of sleep. Okay, we used to grind, we go work 15 hours a day, we get home, we're staying up late. And we just start telling ourselves, sleep's not important. I'll sleep when I'm dead. And you follow people, Gary Vee and some of these social media guys that tell you just to hustle and grind. That's how you become successful, is you got to work all the time. Well, that's not true, and that's not what life's about, right? So there is tons of research now on sleep studies and sleep research. The science shows it's very clear. If you get less than 6 hours of sleep per night, your cognitive thinking, your thought process is the same as being legally drunk. Okay, so basically that means you're not making big decisions. You're not sharp. You're not focused. You're not fresh. Your memory. That's proof. We can fake it for a while, and I did it for a while, and then it started showing up in my life. I just, I'd get home at night when I would see my family, and I was, sleep deprived, and all my energy went towards my business. Well, then who's going to suffer, right? Your family's going to suffer when you get home and you're zonked out. There's nothing left, and now you want to see your kids and your wife or your husband, and you have no energy left. You're just like, man, I'm wiped out. I'm tired. And then people start sedating and have coping mechanisms. They start drinking when they get home, or they eat, or just want to veg out in front of the TV or their phones. So it leads to all these different patterns. So sleep is hugely important for overall health, for energy. Lack of sleep causes sugar cravings, lowers your testosterone levels, so much. So the first thing I always tell people is you've got to figure out how to get at least 7 hours of sleep. I mean, 6 hours at a minimum, but really try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep most nights of the week. And really, what does that mean? So that means getting off of your phones at nighttime, right? Turning the TV off, making it a priority to get in bed, get rest, don't waste time on other things. Avoid alcohol at night, can interrupt your sleeping, stimulants, caffeine. If you're having trouble going to sleep, clearing your mind, doing a brain dump, like what I do at nighttime. I'll write down the things I have to do tomorrow, just so I know what my next day is planned out. And so I know when I lay down at night, I can really just clear my head, unless it's occasionally a big, catastrophe happens, something crazy. But most nights I can go to bed and just know, okay, clear my mind, I'm going to sleep. Okay, so that's a big one. So I always start with that, because I know so many people that just don't get enough sleep when I talk to clients and people. The next one we know is nutrition. Okay, I talk for hours about nutrition, so I just want to make it very important. A few basic things, okay? Diets and doing short-term challenges and things like that, those really don't teach you how how to make lifestyle changes. Okay, what's something that I can practice and I can make a lifestyle sustainable and just eat healthy the rest of my life. Okay, and so it's not overeating, eating plenty of protein. If you're taking notes here, just if you take your body weight in pounds, you need about 1 gram per pound, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if I weigh 180 pounds, is about what I weigh. I need roughly about 180 grams of protein a day if you're looking at your macronutrients. Also water. Most people I talk to, athletes or non-athletes, go around chronically dehydrated. So if you take your body weight in pounds, divide it by 2, that's about at least how many ounces you need a day of water. Okay, so again, if I weigh 180 pounds, I need at least 90 ounces of water a day. It's summertime. I'm in Oklahoma. It's hot here. If you guys are in California, I know it gets hot out there. You're sweating. You should drink more water than that. Besides that, most people I talk to don't eat enough vegetables, don't get enough vitamins and minerals. So making sure you're getting plenty of produce, getting lean protein, just keeping it basic. I mean, we try to keep it simple. Again, not going on drastic diets or extreme low calorie cutting. Just make sure you're making it a priority to eat healthy. Try to fast for at least 12 hours. There's a lot of research in longevity that fasting for 12 to 14 hours. So if you eat dinner, say at 7 o'clock at night, then maybe the next day you don't eat until 7 a.m. or 8 or 9 a.m. So that's easy to do that. Very important as well. So as far as nutrition, those are some things I would focus on. You can get into more details, but that's the basic things there is stay hydrated, plenty of protein, getting fruits and vegetables, cutting out sugar, cutting out processed foods, right? Now, it's easier said than done, but again, even like going back to what Aki was talking about, is planning and creating who you are, okay? I'm someone that likes to eat healthy. I like vegetables, and you try different things and you become a healthy person. You see yourself as a healthy person that eats healthy, not someone that struggles and goes on diets and has trouble keeping weight off. You can become a person that is healthy and stays healthy. Okay, and then we get into exercise. We all know that exercise is important. It's very important. As we age, we lose muscle mass. People tend to get less healthy, right? They're just not as active. So I train a lot of clients, a lot of my golf clients, and just even clients that don't play golf. They're in their 70s and 80s. I have a client that's 93. Her husband is 98. Very healthy. I mean, of course, they don't get around and play golf, but they're very healthy. And I have golfers in their 70s, late 70s, and they exercise. They make it a priority. And as far as exercise and working out, the main thing on that is you want to have a good balance. Okay, so you want to strength train. We know strength training, the benefits is building bone density, building muscle, of course, getting stronger, increasing our metabolism, incorporating some cardio, whether that's walking or if it's cycling, whatever you're doing, swimming, there's something where you're active. And also flexibility. That's something we tend to focus on more as we age. Our older clients working on mobility and flexibility. So having a good balance, and I always recommend if you don't know what that looks like or how to put a program together, definitely see a trainer, get a personal trainer, get assessed and get a program that's going to be fit for you. Okay, when I train my golfers, we do different things. Like we work on a lot of power. They want to swing faster and hit the ball farther. And so we do a lot of power, speed, explosive, plyometrics. So I don't do all that stuff with one of my 70-year-old clients, but some of my young athletes I do. So it does depend on what their goals are, but you must make exercise a priority. We all know that. And it doesn't take becoming a gym rat. Even doing 30-minute workouts 2 or 3, 4 days a week definitely has benefits. So just putting something together, getting help if needed with the trainer, and then sticking to it, staying committed. And once you start seeing the benefits and seeing your body change and feeling better, you're going to get more motivated, and you just got to stick with it and make it a lifestyle. Okay, so definitely making working out a priority. And again, not starting, you don't want to start too hard, too fast. If you're listening to this, you're not working out right now, don't go in there and destroy yourself the first day. That's where I see some people mess up. They get really sore, could get injured, right? We're working out to get healthier, not to get injured. So don't do anything crazy, and then just, start slow, and you'll build as you'll progress. And then as you get stronger, you can increase your weight, you can increase your duration, how much workouts you're doing per week, and just build up from there. But start slow, track your progress. And if you need a trainer, that's a great idea, at least getting started, and then you can work on your own after that. Okay, so again, that's hugely important. So we talk a lot about energy and power, and also confidence. Even what Aki was talking about is seeing yourself being a more powerful person, a more confident person. Well, if you're working out and you feel stronger and you look better, your clothes are fitting better, you're going to be more confident, right? So there's no question. Like for me, just in my own business, I'm confident in myself. I have a lot of energy, and that ties into being more successful, right? If I'm, showing that I'm a great leader, and I'm leading even my kids. Okay, so I have 2 young girls. Well, they know that daddy is healthy and daddy is fit, and he makes it a priority to take care of himself. Well, they're following my footsteps, right? So they want to be healthy. They want to work out. My clients, of course, I'm in the fitness business, so that's easy. But even in the other areas of life, like again, I try really hard to make sure that I'm a better husband and a better dad. And so my clients that come to me for fitness, they also see that. They see, wow, man, he's not just a workaholic. Some of them knew me 15 years ago. They knew I was that guy then. They're like, okay, Clint has changed. Okay, now he's working a lot. He still works a lot, but he's delegated and he's become a better leader. He's going to his kids' events and he's going out of town on vacations. I didn't take a vacation for 10 years when I first got married. I have a very understanding wife. She knew when she married me that I was working a lot and I had to build. I started my own businesses, and she knew what it took. But I knew that wasn't going to last forever. Okay, and I'll admit some of my faults. I'll be very vulnerable. At one point, after my wife and I had been married 10 or 12 years, our marriage was getting to a point where we were becoming roommates. Okay, because I was working all the time, coming home. I was zonked out. I didn't have any energy. I wasn't getting enough sleep. The discussions were about business, stress, anxiety. Okay, so I used to have massive anxiety. And I'm sure a lot of you here are listening. You get overwhelmed. You have anxiety. I used to get panic attacks. I trained a couple of cardiologists. I remember one time I went to the hospital. I thought I was having a heart attack and I was dying. And I drove myself to the emergency room. And I don't talk about that very much, but I had massive anxiety. I thought I was healthy and fit, and I was getting checked out by these cardiologists. I thought I had heart problems. They're like, man, it's like, dude, you said you're working all the time. You're drinking caffeine all day. You're not sleeping. You've got a newborn. You've got a business. So you've got to release some stress, but you've got to relax. You got to take some load off your plate, what you're doing, or you are going to kill yourself. And so, finally, after I didn't listen at first, the first couple of years that they were telling me that, and finally I realized like I've got to make changes, for my own health, but also I want to stay married and have a great marriage, and I want to raise my kids the right way. And so I made a lot of changes, and I was doing the fitness part because I'm a fitness person, but I know a lot of people that aren't in the fitness field or that aren't fitness trainers, or that's not your background. They have a lot of questions or don't know where to get started, or like Aki was saying about having a fear of failure. Just start out. Like I have clients that have lost over 150 pounds. So when they came to me, they were morbidly obese. They were afraid to walk into my office. They were terrified to leave their house and talk to people. And now they're completely different people. I mean, it's like a night and day, right? That picture of Jeff Bezos, right? Just like that, like, wow, this person was here and here's what's possible, right? You've got where you are now, you've got the gap, and you've got your opportunity. One of my mentors gave me a quote one time that always stuck with me. He said, hell on earth would being at the end of your life if you met that person that you could have become if you would have gone all in. Like if you would have give everything in life, committed 100%, the person you could be. What if you didn't go all in and you met that person in your life? Said, wow, that could have been me, but I didn't go all in. And I see it a lot. Again, I'm in the fitness field. I get people that come to me that are unhealthy. Now they've got heart disease, they've got cancer, they've got just terrible health issues. And because they neglected their bodies for 20 or 30 years, I get a lot of business owners that come to me that are very, very successful. They work a lot. They own big companies. And a lot of times they've got that part figured out, but a lot of times they're divorced or on the verge of divorce, or they're disconnected with their kids. They're unhealthy. They're overweight. They're drinking, on drugs. I mean, they've got all kinds of problems, right? Because they're maybe disconnected with God, because they went all in on one thing and everything else neglected. So what is life worth if you go through life and make a ton of money, and then you have nothing else at the end? No one's there to even help you and be there with you and support you if you don't have a family, or just no connection, like you really, gave good purpose to this world. So you gotta figure out how to have it all. And a lot of that, again, does tie back into your body, being healthy, being here for a long time, working out. That ties into confidence, being powerful. So you've got to focus on that. You've got to get plenty of sleep. All right. So I want to go back through. I wrote down here just what I call the success checklist. Again, because I can go on a tangent here, and I can talk for a long time on these things. But these are very, very important. Hopefully you're taking notes, and I know I've got a short time here, so I do want to also mention I wrote a book that just came out this last year. It's called Sweat Hardens into Muscle: Insider Blueprint to Transforming Your Mind, Body, and Health. And it covers a lot of what I'm talking about here: finding your why, sleep, getting a workout program put together, nutrition, some of the quotes that guide me through life. I'd love to send anybody a copy of the book if you want. I just want to mention that because, again, a lot of times when I give presentations, I do get a lot of questions that people have about their own fitness or their own nutrition or their own struggles or even mindset or goal setting, and maybe they don't want to ask it in public, or I know here virtually I can't answer everyone's questions. So I'd love to, and I think you'll get my information if you want to follow up like all day long. That's what I do. I talk to people. I talk about their goals. I coach people, training, mindset. And man, I love it because, again, I'm my own client, right? I was there at one time and had all these struggles, and now I've trained thousands of people the last 20 years. I've been doing this for 20 years. So I'm not young anymore, but I really enjoy it, and there's no slowing down. I love what I do. So anyway, the success checklist, again, it goes back to finding your why. I think Aki mentioned on this too, is really what is important to you. Like I mentioned, for me, it's not just about six-pack abs anymore, my physical, right? That's maybe a byproduct, but I want to be healthy for a lot of different reasons that I've discussed. In the same way, finding your why with your family, right? You want to have a marriage that's on fire. You want to have a great connection, and like Aki mentioned, being a 5-star dad, with your kids or grandkids, whatever it may be, and being successful, being a great leader in your business, or if you work for somebody or whatever you're doing, and also making good money. But you're creating good value, right, to make that money. So really getting true on what your why is. We always say clarity is power. So spending time getting clear on that, and then staying committed to that, right? Commitment alters everything. We talk about that a lot. So staying truly committed, making it a lifestyle. Again, I mentioned sleep, how important sleep is. 7 to 8 hours. I don't think you need 9 or 10 hours, but 7 to 8 hours. And I'll admit, I still struggle with this a bit. There's some nights that I get 6. Occasionally, I may have to go in real early and just be up late working on something or whatever. Maybe talking to my wife. I may get 5 or 6 hours, but most nights I'm trying to get 7 hours. On a weekend, maybe I'll get 8 hours, but it's very, very important. You've got to commit to getting enough sleep, taking care of your body, recovering, being fresh every day you wake up, so you're not in reactive mode. You wake up alive, on fire, and in proactive mode, right? So you can take on the day. Again, nutrition, okay? Nutrition, just staying hydrated, cutting out sugar and processed foods, plenty of protein, getting plenty of vitamins, minerals, vegetables, fruits, and just making that a priority. Keep it simple. You don't do anything crazy, but just eating better, making better choices. We know what's healthy. It's just making it a priority. Okay. Again, working out. If you're not working out now, start. Okay. Start slow. Just figure out what the program is for you. Incorporate strength training, some cardio, flexibility. If you need to get a coach, a trainer to help you out, certainly do that. You don't want to get injured. Don't want to waste your time doing the wrong things, but you must exercise and take care of your body, take care of your health. Okay. And the other things besides that I want to mention, meditation is a real big thing that I kind of tie into the physical. It's, 10 years ago, I thought meditation was like woo-woo. That was something that was, just for people that were weird or whatever. If you study, and I study successful people, most all truly successful people, they have some form of meditation. Okay, one thing we say, meditation is something that you can't really do it wrong, right? It's just a practice. It's not a position. Like sometimes my meditation is walking. Like my wife and I walk, or I'll walk by myself around my neighborhood, and I'm just walking, but I'm clearing my head. I'm thinking. When we're taking showers, a lot of us always talk about we get our best ideas in the shower. Something about the water coming down on you in a shower, you can just kind of clear your mind. And sometimes I'll lay down, and it may even turn into a power nap if it's an afternoon, I've got a long day. But you've got to take time to just clear your mind and just some form of meditation and just deep breathing and just think about that. You can kind of focus. You got to keep your brain sharp too. Okay, I'm also a mindset coach, and so we get a lot into just kind of neurophysiology and how the brain works, and also working on that. Okay, so mindset is huge. All this starts with mindset, right? Having powerful mindset. Okay, so we got meditation, and then for one thing, for me, getting back to just balance in life is creating non-negotiables. And I think a lot of us kind of struggle with this. Like when I first started out training clients, working for somebody or coaching, I would let my clients dictate my life. Okay, if they wanted to work out on a Sunday afternoon or at 7 o'clock at night or at 5 a.m., I just did whatever. Okay, oh yeah, I'll train you whenever. So I had to start creating non-negotiables. Okay, I'm only going to work these hours. When I would get home at night, for years, I would get home at night, I'd pull my laptop out, I'd go back to work. Okay, getting back to emails, I got to check in with this thing, I got to check that, I had my phone out. So now when I get home at night, unless it's an emergency, my computer's not getting out, my phone is shut off, I'm not working. Again, very rarely do I do that. So, just non-negotiables, things like that aren't going, when I go on vacation, I'm going to work out, that's important. So you've got things you have to commit to and things you have to be able to say no to. Okay, I don't do a lot of lunches anymore. People want to have a meeting and try to sign me up for some kind of MLM or pitch something to me. My time is very valuable. That's for my clients and my family and my close friends. So I hold that very sacred. So I have non-negotiables where I have to protect my time, and you need to do the same thing. So those are really important. Having those non-negotiables, making them powerful. And then besides that, getting back to, Aki talked about the CSCs, the conscious self-creations, that daily focus. So I do the same thing, right? Aki and Seiko and I have some of the same mentors. And so that's important. So tying those into what we're talking about here. So my conscious self-creations, I am healthy. I am a great leader. I am fit. I like to eat vegetables. Okay. I'm a great speaker. I'm a great dad, a great husband. And tying those things, a lot of those can be fitness. Okay, you may think, you don't like to exercise. Well, no, you do like to exercise. Maybe you haven't figured out exactly what that looks like or what it is or how to commit to it, but you can become that person. So you create that person you want to become, and you know how important it is. So tying that in to all areas of life, your conscious self-creations, into the fitness and to the nutrition, your sleep. And really, to kind of sum it up, is that you have to commit to it and truly become the person that you want to become. And what a quote I always say is that you are worth it. Okay, your life is worth it. Your family is worth it. We've got one chance on this planet, on this earth. So we have to commit now and go all in, and then we can become what we want to become. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's it for me.
Awesome, Clint. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And to Aki too, and for all you guys being on here. I think it's very important that we share these things, and that's really why I wanted to bring this to Gibbs, like work-life balance. Life is tough. Life is a hot mess, according to one of my mentors, and it's true. And it's like a puzzle. There's pieces we've got to put into place. Sometimes we don't get them when we want it to. And I don't want you guys to have to struggle alone. And that's why we're here. Like Clint's here, Aki's here, I'm here. And, our CEO, Tom Addis and Nikki Gatch are all here for you guys. And so please don't hesitate to email Clint and to get his book. I was able to get it as well, and to Aki. It's tough, especially with 2020 just behind us. It just life just gets in the way. And, you know, the industry's busy. We don't want you guys to do it alone. And every time I get on these calls, it's a reminder service for us. We have to do this every day. We have to do our CSCs every day, and to create us so we can show up for our families, for our clients, for our colleagues, for our employees. It's not easy, not every day. So please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. I know I'm speaking on behalf of the whole section. I feel like we're family. We're here for you guys. And we just want to thank you for all being here. One last thing, any questions? I'm sorry I did not share that we were open to Q&As or Q&A. Any questions for us right now? I know we're at time, but again, just please don't hesitate. Lastly, this was our last session on work-life balance. I'm hoping we can do more things outside of Gibbs, but our next couple sessions you don't want to miss either. Our next one for the summer from July, August, and September, we're going to be talking about driving top-line revenue at your facility. And we're going to be talking about increasing green fees and membership dues, talking about food and beverage and merchandising. So you don't want to miss that. And then for our fall session, we're going to be talking about career enhancement and development, speaking about resume building, interview preparation and skills, as well as contract negotiation. So we still have a lot of things that we want to help you guys with. So again, we're all here for you, and we hope for you guys to join us in these next 2 series. Thank you again for joining us today. We hope to see you on the next call. Thank you so much again.